Seattle, they call it the Emerald City, a place of rain and coffee, grunge music, and tech giants. The Space Needle pierces the sky, a beacon of ambition. Ferries crisscross the Puget Sound, their wakes shimmering like dragon scales. The air smells of salt and pine, a reminder of the wildness that still lurks beneath the city's skin. But beneath the beauty, a darkness sometimes stirs. A darkness that whispers in the shadows of skyscrapers and gathers in the fog that rolls in from the sea. On May 5th, 2021, that darkness took on a human face. The call crackled over the police scanner, breaking the silence of the station. A disturbance on 3rd Avenue, right in the heart of downtown, where the city's pulse beats the strongest. Reports of a woman behaving erratically, screaming at passersby, her voice piercing through the usual urban noise. 2 officers, Johnson and Ramirez, responded to the call without hesitation, their training kicking in. They were used to dealing with the city's troubled souls, the ones who slept beneath bridges and haunted street corners. But this was different. Something felt off. As they approached the scene, a chill ran down their spines, an instinctive reaction to the unknown. The woman stood in the middle of the sidewalk, her back to them, unmoving, almost statuesque. She was dressed in a white gown, tattered and stained, a stark contrast to the bustling city around her. Her hair, long and black, streamed down her back like a raven's wing, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Johnson and Ramirez exchanged a glance, their concern mirrored in each other's eyes. They had seen many things, but this felt different, almost surreal. They approached cautiously, their hands hovering near their holsters, ready for anything. The air was thick with tension. As they got closer, they could see the distress etched on her face, her eyes wide with fear and confusion. The city lights flickered around them, casting long shadows that danced on the pavement, adding to the surreal scene. Johnson spoke first, his voice calm and steady, trying to reach through the fog of her distress. "Ma'am, we're here to help. Can you tell us what's wrong?" The woman slowly turned to face them, her movements deliberate and slow as if she was in a trance. Her eyes, dark and haunted, met theirs, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. The officers knew they were dealing with more than just a disturbance. "Ma'am?" Officer Johnson called out, his voice cautious. The woman turned, and the officers gasped. Her face was pale, almost translucent. Her eyes were wide and dark, like bottomless pools. She opened her mouth, but the sound that emerged was not human. It was a low, guttural moan, filled with an ancient sorrow. She lunged at Officer Ramirez, her nails bared like claws. He stumbled back, barely avoiding her grasp. She moved with unnatural speed and agility, her movements jerky and disjointed, like a marionette controlled by unseen strings. Whispers and clicks. The struggle was brief but chaotic. It took 4 officers to subdue the woman, their screams echoing off the glass and steel of the surrounding buildings. Bystanders watched in horror, their phones held aloft, recording the scene for posterity. Within hours, the videos were spreading across social media like wildfire. #Seattle Zombie Woman became a trending topic. Theories abounded, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish. Was she high on a bad batch of drugs, suffering from a psychotic break? Or was there something more sinister at play? The shadow of doubt. The Seattle Police Department remained tight-lipped. No official statement was released about the incident. The lack of information only fueled the flames of speculation. Some whispered of government experiments gone wrong, of ancient curses unleashed upon the city. Others saw it as a sign of the end times, a harbinger of chaos and despair. The woman in white became an urban legend, a ghost story whispered in hushed tones. She was a symbol of the city's hidden underbelly, a reminder that even in the gleaming metropolis, there were still dark corners where reason dared not tread. blue light on a rainy night. The city was drenched, the streets glistening under the relentless downpour. The rain seemed to wash away the day's troubles, but it also brought a sense of eerie calm, a prelude to the chaos that was about to unfold. Weeks later, a video surfaced online. It quickly went viral, capturing the attention of thousands. People were drawn to the mystery, the unanswered questions, and the chilling events that the footage revealed. It was grainy and shot from a distance, but it was clear enough to see what was happening. The footage showed a quiet street, suddenly disrupted by flashing lights and hurried movements. The scene was chaotic, yet strangely mesmerizing. It showed the night of the incident, the blue and red flicker of police lights reflecting off the wet pavement. The lights danced in the puddles, creating a surreal, almost hypnotic effect. But this time, the perspective was different. The angles were unusual, offering glimpses of the city that were both familiar and alien. It was as if the city itself was watching, bearing witness to the unfolding drama. This time, the camera was attached to Officer Johnson's body. The footage was raw and unfiltered, capturing every moment of tension and uncertainty. The footage showed the struggle from the officer's point of view, the chaos, the confusion, the desperate attempts to regain control. It was a battle of wills, a clash of forces in the pouring rain. It showed the woman's manic strength, the fear in the officer's eyes. Her face was a mask of determination, her eyes wild with a mix of fear and defiance. The officers, though trained and experienced, were clearly taken aback by her ferocity. But it also showed something else, something that was not immediately apparent, something that lurked in the shadows of the footage, something that had been missed in the initial frenzy. A detail so subtle yet so significant that it changed the entire narrative. It was a fleeting moment, a brief glimpse of the truth that had been hidden in plain sight. The ripples of reality. As they wrestled the woman to the ground, a small object fell from her pocket. It clattered onto the pavement, unnoticed by the officers at first, but its significance would soon become clear. A locket, tarnished silver, shaped like a heart. It lay there, glinting faintly under the harsh streetlights, a silent witness to the unfolding drama. Officer Johnson picked it up, his face etched with concern. He turned it over in his hands, feeling the weight of its history, the stories it might hold. He pried it open, revealing a tiny photograph inside. The hinges creaked, as if reluctant to reveal the secrets within. A young woman, her face filled with life and joy. Her smile was radiant, a stark contrast to the grim scene unfolding around them. She was holding a baby, a little girl with bright, curious eyes. The photograph captured a moment of pure happiness, a fleeting glimpse of a life that once was. The woman on the ground saw the locket, and her eyes, those dark, fathomless pools, filled with tears. She reached out, her fingers trembling as if trying to grasp the memories it held. "My baby," she whispered, her voice hoarse and broken. The words were barely audible, but they carried the weight of her anguish. "I just wanted to find my baby." Her plea was raw, a mother's desperate cry that cut through the night air, leaving a haunting echo. The truth, when it finally emerged, was far more mundane than any of the theories that had circulated online. The rumors had painted her as a monster, but reality was far more tragic. The woman was not a zombie, nor was she possessed by any malevolent force. She was simply a mother, broken by the weight of her loss, struggling to hold on to the fragments of her shattered life. She was just a mother, driven to the brink of madness by the loss of her child. Her grief had consumed her, leaving her a shadow of her former self. Her story, once pieced together, was a tragic one. It was a tale of love and loss, of hope and despair, of a mother's unyielding search for her missing child. Her daughter, it turned out, had been kidnapped months earlier. The police had searched tirelessly, but the trail had gone cold, leaving the mother in a state of perpetual torment. The police had no leads, and the woman, consumed by grief and desperation, had finally snapped. Her mind, once sharp and clear, had become a maze of sorrow and confusion. The revelation sent ripples through the city and beyond. It was a story that touched the hearts of many, a stark reminder of the fragility of the human spirit. It was a stark reminder of the power of social media to distort the truth, to turn tragedy into spectacle. The digital age had amplified her pain, turning her personal agony into public entertainment. It was also a reminder of the importance of critical thinking, of questioning what we see and hear, especially in the digital age where information spreads at lightning speed. In a world where reality can be twisted and reshaped with a few keystrokes, it is more crucial than ever to seek the truth, to look beyond the surface, and to understand the deeper currents that shape our lives.